Good Thursday morning, everybody. Chris Allen here on the Sam channel, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter on this little Friday, all sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace. Weather stick is blue. As you see behind me, that means another good day, more blue skies, and really not bad as far as temperatures. We are going to warm it up just a little bit more than what we had yesterday. The high officially in Bowling Green, 61. 65 is where we should be on average. So we were only 4 degrees shy of the average high for this time of the year. Weather stick is blue for now, but tomorrow I anticipate it either being yellow in the caution category or even red as we get pretty decent system coming in with showers and thunderstorms and even the possibility of some severe weather, which I will show you and talk about here in just a second. But first, let's check on the here and now. Pretty quiet weather to start out this morning. Chilly, yes. Like the last couple of mornings, some frost on your windshield, temperatures starting in the 30s, mainly clear sky, high pressure is stronger than that boundary you see just to the north of us. And so it's going to have that wobble, 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 Pac-Man effect and eat away at that boundary, and it's going to be gone. The only thing that boundary is really doing is just kind of holding in some of the chillier air that we're feeling this morning. So, yes, some frost is out there this morning. So you'll have to allow just some time to get your vehicle defrosted or scrape the windshield this morning. Otherwise, it's going to be a day much like yesterday. Checking the 10-day blender and looking ahead, we go near 70 today with a little bit more of a breeze. We didn't have much of a breeze yesterday, and it felt good. Uh, the previous days, even though the sun would be out, that breeze made it feel chillier. Yesterday actually felt pretty good because we didn't have that much of a breeze. Today, warmer breezes will push us to near 70. We'll hit probably 70 tomorrow with the showers and the thunderstorms rolling in and the gusty winds. Then we cool down for Saturday and Sunday, the first couple of days of April. But then you see, look at that. I mean, your eyes are drawn to that 80 that shows up there Wednesday. But look, leading up to it, 73 Monday, 79, probably 80 on Tuesday, then 80 on Wednesday of next week. Very almost summer-like weather coming in. And then we're going to, even though we drop off, we're going to stay in the 60s and 70s after that. So these little by little leftover winters, if you will, they're starting to drop off. And as we get into April, less of an opportunity to see a lot of chilly weather for maybe only a day or two. And then it moves on, and it just, it has to give in to the warmer air and the longer days as the Earth's tilt now more from spring and eventually summer. We're going to get more daylight and continuing to get more daylight and less nighttime. And so naturally things are going to warm up. But this morning, it's still chilly. Look, there's 20s, there's 30s, depending on the elevation of all of these individual mesonet sites. You're likely to get a reading from, look at that, 44 over in Hopkinsville to 27 in Burkesville, down near the river. So you have a wide variety of temperatures this morning because of the stable air mass, high pressure sitting overhead, a clear sky. Everything is just based on elevation right now. The chilly air is reading what it's reading. There's no wind chill, there's nothing to obscure it, so you get what you get. But once the sun comes up, everybody will start to warm up again. And this time it looks like temperatures will be more into the upper 60s for highs today, whereas yesterday it was low 60s. All right, let's get to the model map here, and I'll outline for you what we're thinking about this next system coming in tomorrow that could produce more of a wind threat than anything else. Now, we see the ridge building over the Central Plains and the Rockies. Pacific flow still strong here, so we're going to be on the warmer side of things. And it's going to continue to warm up. We're not seeing any colder weather. In fact, the colder air retreats as we go through today. And then here we go into this evening, and overnight tonight, it looks like this says 9 UTC. That would be 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. So I would say after midnight tonight, we're going to begin to see some just general shower activity, garden variety shower activity. I don't even really foresee that much in the way of convective activity or thunder. There may be a rumble of thunder or two overnight, early tomorrow morning. As you're getting ready to go to work, we see there the scattered showers, thunderstorms, and again in the afternoon, there may be a few that just kind of linger and just continue. But it is the real energy here is coming from this low, which continues to strengthen, and the forcing that comes from low level jets that move through the area, and just the punch of this system really kicks into high gear by tomorrow night. You can watch this area of rain and thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon, but it's tomorrow night, close to midnight, I think, is when we've got to watch for a line of storms. We'll watch as this line begins to form back to the west. You get a lot of instability out ahead of it, and just enough to spark these showers and thunderstorms. And there it comes right there. You see it? There's the low deepening to 984 millibars. This is where the real brunt of the severe weather is going to be, and I'll show you that on the Storm Prediction Center map. Back to the west, big line that will form during the late afternoon and evening hours, but it's not going to come through here till about midnight. You can see there's actually two lines that look to congeal together. And once that happens, this becomes one big line of showers, thunderstorms, damaging wind threat. I think that's going to be the number one thing to worry about. But there is also a tornado threat. Now, how much of that threat of tornadoes is for us in southern Kentucky in the Bowling Green area, that remains to be seen. It all depends on how much instability we can keep after dark. But there's enough forcing there and enough wind shear to maybe along that line see some brief little spin ups that happen, these little short lived tornadoes. The big tornadoes and the more long lived tornadoes are going to be back here to the west. But we're hoping that this line, as far as intensity, begins to weaken, since it's going to be around midnight into early Saturday morning when it comes through. You see it there, but it does show these little kinks and these little push outs that happen. You see those little bends, and each one of those bends indicates the potential for damaging wind and maybe even a brief spin up of a tornado. So that we've got to watch for late tomorrow night and into early Saturday morning. And that's the concern that I have, is that until we get into like 3-4 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, we're still going to be in that window of opportunity. It just depends on how soon we can, stabilize the atmosphere after that. It will, but until that time, we're just going to have to keep, our weather radios turned on and have a couple of sources of information nearby, your phone charged up just in case. And again, it's not tonight. We're going to get some rain tonight, but that's just general rain. It's tomorrow night through the midnight hour into early Saturday that we could see the more active weather and the rough stuff, so to speak, that we're going to have to keep an eye on. Okay, here's a look at what the Storm Prediction Center and the Weather Service is putting out as far as the potential for severe weather. You see that Bowling Green East is under a level 2 yellow slight risk. But then just west of Bowling Green is a level 3 orange enhanced risk. And even further back west, right in the tip of Kentucky and the Boot Heel of Missouri and West Tennessee, that is a red level 4, and that's a moderate risk. So it's, yeah, that's fairly high, fairly close. And we've had this level 3 just west of us for a day or so as far as this severe weather outlook. So, confidence is very high in the gusty winds, as you see on the graphic there. Confidence in severe storms, though, is low, but almost in the medium or moderate category. So, again, as it says in the graphic, conditional threat for strong to severe storms for tomorrow night, dependent on the amount of available instability or the fuel that is needed. We'll see how that plays out. But if there's any good news out of this, is that the severe weather threat and the tornado threat weakens as you go further east. And because, well, just simply because it'll be after dark by the time that line gets here. But the other problem is we're going to have the gusty winds regardless. Winds over 40, maybe even up to 50 miles per hour, even on Saturday. Just like last Saturday, we had the rainy weather on Friday. Saturday cleared up, but then we had all those gusty winds, and it was hard to be outside. Even though it looked nice and the sun came out, felt good, but the wind was just brutal. So it looks like that's going to happen again for this Saturday. But hopefully, the energy for the severe weather will have already been spent west of us. But I got to tell you, that's not a guarantee. So that's why I'm a little bit concerned about tomorrow night into early Saturday morning. Okay, the maps here finally showing you that decaying front as high pressure eats away at it. Here come the storms building later today over parts of Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas, and then this system really gets to cranked up here as we get into Friday morning. We'll start to see rain, thunderstorms, especially tomorrow morning, maybe even tapering off, and that'll be key. If we see it tapering off a little bit, allowing some sun or instability or that fuel to fire up and be ready for tomorrow night as the front approaches, winds picking up here, heavy rain, strong to severe storms out ahead of that line. This is as we get into Friday night, and here's early Saturday morning. That's when the cold front comes through, but you see the winds here, those tight lines, those isobars, tight lines of equal pressure are there, and that means a windy Saturday. So whatever you got going on outdoors Saturday, just look out for the wind. And then, as I mentioned yesterday, another potential severe weather system coming in for Monday night into Tuesday. This looks to be, that's another big, strong, low pressure system that we'll have to watch for potentially more severe weather as we get into Tuesday of next week. It's spring in the South and in Kentucky. And here we go. Hopefully you're ready. All right, headed to the radio station, Sam 100.7 for the morning show here in a few minutes, starting at 6 a.m. and until 10. And in the meantime, I thank you for watching. Hope that you have a great Thursday, or little Friday, as I like to call it. Here on this March 30th, we're about to wrap up the month of March. God bless you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the radio.